The router identity is used to identify a router in various situations, such as when using Winbox, NetInstall, or IP scan. The default identity is MikroTik, but you can change it to any name you want. To do so, navigate to System Identity in the menu. Alternatively, you can use the terminal. Let's change the identity to My Router. You can verify the new identity by typing System Identity Print or looking at the title bar of the Winbox window. The new identity will be visible from multiple locations, such as the Neighbor Discovery List, the Mac Telnet list, or the DHCP server leases. The date and time of the router are crucial for logging events, scheduling scripts, and generating certificates. Router boards do not have a battery-powered real-time clock, so they need to synchronize the date and time with an external source, using Simple Network Time Protocol or SNTP. To achieve this, navigate to System SNTP Client in the menu. Here you can observe the current status of the SNTP client and configure it by checking the Enabled checkbox. Additionally, specify one or more NTP servers to synchronize with, using either IP addresses or fully qualified domain names of public or private NTP servers. Let's use the following public NTP server. Note that DNS automatically identifies the IP address of the domain name. Let's add a secondary NTP server using terminal. You can verify the synchronization status by looking at the status field in the SNTP client window. It should show synchronized after a few seconds. Alternatively, you can type the following command in the terminal window. You can also check the date and time of the router going to System Clock in the menu. Here you can also change the time zone name to match your location. For example, let's change the time zone to New York using the command line. The date and time of the router will be automatically updated and adjusted according to the SNTP client and the time zone settings. RouterOS has a built-in user management system that allows you to create and manage user accounts and assign them different permissions and restrictions. You can see the list of user accounts by going to System Users in the menu. By default, there is one user account called Admin, which belongs to the full group and has full access to the router. For security reasons, it is recommended to disable the default admin account and create your own user accounts with strong passwords and appropriate permissions. Let's create a new user account called Alice, which also belongs to the full group and has full access to the router. You can also assign restrictions on the origin of the user login, such as the IP address. Let's restrict the user Alice to log in only from the following IP address. You can now use Webfig, Winbox, SSH, or Telnet to log into the router using new user account and test their functionality. Let's open a new Winbox and authenticate ourselves using the user Alice. Once we're in, we can disable the default admin account. You can see the list of user groups by going to the Group tab. By default, there are 3 user groups: Full, Read, and Write. The Full group has all the permissions, the Read group has only the Read permission, and the Write group has the Read and Write permissions. You can also create your own user groups and customize the permissions for each group. For example, let's create a new user group called Helpdesk, which has only local access, read-only permission to the router's configuration, and the ability to reboot the device. You can also modify the permissions of the existing user groups. For example, let's remove the sensitive permission from the Read group, which prevents the users from viewing the passwords on the router. RouterOS supports various services and connection modes that allow you to access and manage the router remotely or locally. You can see the list of services by going to IP services in the menu. For example, let's disable the Telnet service, which is insecure and not recommended to use. You can also change the default ports of the services if needed. Let's change the port of the SSH service. This concludes our video tutorial on MikroTik RouterBOARD Essentials. We hope you found it useful and informative. Thank you for watching and have a great day.